Hello students, let's do ratio and proportion exercise 7b. This is on page number 99. Question 1 says, check whether the following quantities form a proportion or not. And we have been given 4 quantities here, 3x, 7x, 24 and 56. Now what is a proportion? When two ratios are equal, we say that they form a proportion. That is, now we take the first two quantities and make it a ratio. That is, we write this like this, 3x is to 7x. So the first quantity and the second quantity. And then we have the third quantity as 24 is to 56. So we have two quantities here and they are in the form of ratios. So two ratios here, one ratio here and one here. And when we say that they are equal, then we say that they form a proportion. And in a proportion, there are four quantities, isn't it? The first quantity is called the first term. This is the second term, this is the third term, and this is the fourth term. Now the first term and the last term are called extremes. And the second and the third are called the means. So the first term and the fourth term are called extremes and second and third are called the means. Now, if the quantities are in proportion, then the product of extremes will be equal to the product of means. That is, the question says check whether the following quantities form a proportion. Now, if they are in proportion, that is, if this ratio is equal to this ratio, then the product of extremes, that is, when you multiply the extremes, what are the extremes? 3x and 56. When you multiply those two, the answer will be equal to the product of means, that is 7x is to 24. Okay, so let's try that. So here product of extremes. So what are the extremes here? 3x and 56 are the extremes. So let's write that. So 3x into 56, product of extremes, should be equal to product of means. And what are the means? These two, 7x and 24. So 7x into 24. So if both the answers, if the answer to this and the answer to this are equal, only then we say that these four quantities form a proportion. So let's find out 3x into 56. Let's multiply that. So that is 56 into 3. Okay, 3 6 are 18, carry 1, 3 5 are 15, plus 1, 16. So this is equal to 168x. So we have to put this x also. So what did I do? I multiplied 3 into 56 and I put that x here. Now let's multiply 7 into 24. So that will be 24 into 7. 7 4s are 28, carry 2. 7 2s are 14, 15, 16. So here also we have 168x. And as you can see, they are equal. So because they are equal, that is, the product of extremes is equal to product of means, then we say that these four quantities form a proportion. 3x, 7x, 24 and 56 are in proportion. Question 2. So here also remember there are four quantities, four terms. The first two terms form the first ratio and the next two terms form the next ratio. So first let's write that. So we have 0.8 is to 3 and this should be equal to 2.4 is to 9. Now the product of extremes is equal to the product of means, isn't it? So these are the extremes. 0.8 into 9. So product of extremes is 0.8 into 9 and this should be equal to product of means, which is 3 into 2.4. 3 into 2.4. So now we need to work this out. So 0.8 into 9. So 0.8 into 9. Ignore the point, it becomes 8. 8 9s are 72. Now go back to the question. Look and see there is one decimal place after the point. That means in your answer also after the point there should be one place. So my point comes here. So this is 7.2. So here product of extremes we found it to be 7.2. Now let's see 3 into, so this is 3 into 2.4. Let's multiply that and see. So 3 into 2.4, ignore the point and multiply That becomes 24 into 3. 3 fours are 12, carry 1. 3 twos are 6 plus 1, 7. And again we go back to the question, there's one decimal place. Our answer also should have one decimal place, so we get 7.2. So 7.2, and as you can see on the left side, that is the product of extremes is 7.2. On the right, the product of means is also 7.2. They are equal to each other. That means these quantities, that is 0.8, 3, 2.4 and 9 are in proportion. Question 3, here we have 4 terms. Now let's write the two ratios. So the first one, that is 1, 1 by 2 is to the second term 3, 1 by 4 form the first ratio, and this should be equal to 4, 1 by 2 is to 9, 3 by 4 if they form a ratio, if they form a proportion. So now product of extremes equals product of means. So what are the extremes? These are the extremes, 1, 1 by 2 and 9, 3 by 4. So let's write that 1, 1 by 2 into 9, 3 by 4. And what are the product of means? 3, 1 by 4 into 4, 1 by 2. So 3, 1 by 4 into 4, 1 by 2. So these two should be equal. So let's work this out. First, let's convert. 2 ones are 2 plus 1 is 3. So that is 3 by 2 into 4 nines are 36 plus 3 is 39. 39 by 4. And on the other side, we have 4 threes are 12 plus 1, 13 by 4 into 2 fours are 8 plus 1, 9 by 2. Now, since this is multiplication of fractions, we can cancel if there is anything to be cancelled here. Otherwise, we straight away multiply the numerators and the denominators. Now, as you can see, there is nothing that we can cancel. We can cancel a numerator and denominator, but nothing here can be cancelled. Similarly, here also we are not able to cancel anything. In that case, we multiply the numerator. So let's multiply 39 into 3. So 39 into 3. 3 nines are 27, carry 2. 3 threes are 9 plus 2, 10, 11. So we have 117 as the numerator, 117, and in the denominator we have 2 fours. 2 into 4 is 8. So product of extremes is 117 by 8. Now let's check this side. What is the product of means? That is 13 into 9. So let's multiply 13 into 9. 9 threes are 27, carry 2. 9 ones are 9 plus 2, 10, 11. We have 117. And let's multiply the denominators, 4 twos. 4 twos are 8. So can you see the left hand side, that is the product of extremes is equal to the product of means. That means these 4 terms form a proportion. So that is our answer. All 4 quantities given in the question are in proportion. Question 4, we've been given 4 quantities again. Let's write them as 2 ratios. So we have 0.4 is to 0.5, and this should be equal to 2.9 is to 3.5. Now the product of extremes should be equal to the product of means. So what are the extremes? 0.4 and 3.5. So this implies that 0.4 into 3.5 should be equal to the product of the means, that is these two. So what is that? 0.5 into 2.9. So now let's multiply and see. First we'll take these two. 0.4 into 3.5. 0.4 into 3.5. When we ignore the point, it becomes 35 into 4. So let's multiply 35 into 4. 4 fives are 20, carry 2. 4 threes are 12, plus 2 is 14. Now go back to the question and count the number of decimal places. 1 plus 1, there are 2 places. Our answer also should have 2 places. So move from the right to the left. 1, 2, and the point comes here. So that is 1.40 or 1.4. So here we have 1.4. Now on this side, what do we have? 0.5 into 2.9. So that is 0.5 into 2.9. If we ignore the point and multiply, it becomes 29 into 5. 5 nines are 45, carry 4. 5 twos are 10, plus 4 is 14. So what do we have? 145. Now in the question we have 1 plus 1, 2 decimal places. Our answer also should have 2 decimal places. So move from the right to the left 2 places. 1, 2 and the point comes here. So what do we have here? 1.45. So as you can see, the product of extremes is 1.4 and the product of means is 1.45. That means they are not equal and then they are not in proportion. So these four quantities are not in proportion. Question 5, we've been given four quantities. Let's write them as two ratios. So this will be 2 1 by 2 is to 5 1 by 2. And the other ratio is 3.0 is to 6.0. Now, product of extremes is equal to product of means. Now, these are the extremes. So, let's multiply that. So, that will be 2 1 by 2 into 6.0 or simply 6. And this should be equal to product of means, that is 5 1 by 2 into 3.0, which is 3. So, first let's convert this. 2 2s are 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 by 2 into 6, and on the other side 2 5s are 10 plus 1 11, 11 by 2 into 3. Now let's multiply the numerators. 5 into 6, 5 6s are 30, and the denominator we have 2. Now on the other side let's multiply the numerators. 11 3s are 33, and in the denominator we have 2. As you can see, the product of extremes and the product of means are completely different. They are not in proportion. That means the answer, the numbers, the questions given to us, they are not in proportion. Question 4. Find the fourth proportional of 3, 12 and 4. What is the fourth proportional? The fourth term of a proportion. Here we have only 3 terms. We have to find the fourth term, which is called the fourth proportional. So let the fourth proportional be x. So in that case, let's get all 3 terms. 3, 12, then we have 4 and we have x. So these are the 4 terms. Now we're going to write the first 2 as the first ratio. So we're going to get the first ratio, that is 3 is to 12, and since they're in proportion we're going to write equal, and 4 is to x will be the next ratio. 4 is to x. Then we are going to find the value of x. Now we have the two ratios, we have the product of, we have two ratios here. Now we need to find the value of x by using this formula, product of extremes equals product of means. Now these are the extremes. That means when I multiply 3 into x, that should be equal to the product of means, which is 12 into 4. So that is 12 into 4. So what am I going to do? I'm going to leave x here on the left hand side because I need to find the value of x. On the right, I'm going to leave 12 into 4 as it is. Now what am I going to do with this 3? I don't need it on the left hand side. I'm going to move it to the right hand side. Remember the linear equations? So this is what we are doing here. Now this multiplication is going to change into division. So 3 will be division there, so it will come down. So 12 into 4 by 3. Now can we cancel something here? We can cancel 3 and 12. 3 1s are 3, 3 4s are 12. So now we can multiply 4 4s are 16 by 1, or it is 16. That means we have found the value of x. And what did we say x is? We said x is the fourth proportional. So the fourth proportional is 16. We found our answer here to be 16, and that is the fourth proportional. So here we've been given 3 terms, 5, 9 and 45, and we've been asked to find the fourth proportional. So let the fourth proportional be x. So we're going to write these 4, that is 5, 9, 45 and x. Now let's take the first 2 and make the first ratio. So this will be 5 is to 9, and that is equal to the next 2 terms, and that will be the next ratio, 45 is to x. Now we have to follow this formula which says product of extremes equals product of means. So these are the extremes, 5 and x. So let's write that 5 into x is equal to product of means, that is 9 into 45. So let's write that 9 into 45. Now we have to find the value of x. So we're going to leave x on the left hand side. On the right, we're writing 9 into 45. We're going to transpose this 5 from the left hand side to the right. And because it's multiplication, when it comes to the right, it becomes division. So we put 5 here. Now let's cancel. We can cancel 5 and 45. 5 nines are 45. So what do we have here? 9 into 9, that is 81. That means the value of x is equal to 81. So we have found the fourth proportional. The fourth proportional is 81. So we found our answer here. Question 3, again we've been given three quantities here. We have 2.1, 1.5 and 8.4, and we have to find the fourth term or the fourth proportional. So let the fourth proportional be x. So let's write out all four terms including x. So that will be 2.1, then we have 1.5, then we have 8.4, and then we have x. Okay, now let's make them into ratios. So the first two terms will be the first ratio. So we are going to have 2.1 is to 1.5, and this is equal to the next two terms, which is going to form the next ratio. 8.4 is to x. Now we have to use the formula product of extremes equals product of means. So these are the extremes. So that will be 2.1 into x is equal to the product of the means, and these two are the means, that is 1.5 into 8.4. Now let's multiply this. Now here we're going to find the value of x. So I'm going to leave x on the left hand side. On the right we have 1.5 into 8.4, and then we're going to transpose this 2.1 from the left hand side to the right. Here it is multiplication. When it goes to the right, it's going to become division and come here. So that's 2.1. So now we're going to find the value of x. 1.5 into 8.4 divided by 2.1. Here we can cancel. We can cancel 1.5 and 2.1. If we take this as 15 and 21, both are in the tables of 3. We can also cancel 2.1 and 8.4. Both are in the tables of 21 itself, that is 2.1. Now 8.4 divided by 2.1. Now we can do it separately also. 8.1 divided by 8.4 divided by 2.1. Now let's make them whole numbers by removing the point. So multiply by 10. So when we multiply by 10, what do we get? The point moves to the right by one place, to the right by one place. So we get 84 by 21. Now 21 into 4. 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8 is 84. So here when you divide 84 by 21, what do we get? 4. Okay, because 21 into 4 is 84. So here I can cancel 2.1 and 8.4. I get 4 here. Now I can multiply my numerators. 1.5 into 4. So 1.5 into 4, ignore the point, it becomes 15 into 4. 15 into 4 is 60. Now the question has one decimal place. Our answer also should have one decimal place. So this becomes 6.0 or simply 6. So we have found the value of x to be 6, and we know x is the fourth proportional. So the fourth proportional is 6. So this is our answer to this question. Question 4, again we have four quantities here given, and the fourth proportional, let it be x. So let's write this down. So this is 1 by 3, then we have 2 by 5, then we have 8.4, and then we have x. So the first two will become the first ratio of the proportion. So that is 1 by 3 is to 2 by 5, and this is equal to 8.4 is to x. Now let's use the formula product of extremes equals product of means. So these are the extremes. So we have to multiply, that is 1 by 3 into x is equal to product of means, and these are the means. What are the means? 2 by 5 is to 8.4. So now again we're going to find the value of x. So we're going to leave x here, and on the other side we have 2 by 5 into 8.4. Now 8.4, we can, since all the others are fractions, we can make this also a fraction. That will be, if you remove the point, it becomes 84, and you have to give it a denominator which is 10 or a higher power of 10 because it's a decimal fraction. And since there's only one decimal place, 1 followed by 1 0. So that is 84 by 10. So here we can say 84 by 10. Now here 1 by 3, when it's transposed to the other side, it becomes division. Here it is multiplication. When it goes to the other side, it becomes division. Division by 1 by 3. So here we have to do this first because this is division according to Bodmer's. So what will this become? When we rewrite all this, we are going to get x is equal to 2 by 5. Now when you do Bodmer's, remember division here will be 84 by 10 divided by 1 by 3. That becomes 84 by 10. Division changes to multiplication and 1 by 3 becomes 3 by 1. So we can write that directly. So this is into 84 by 10 into 3 by 1. Now what can we cancel? The only things we can cancel is 2 and 10. 2 1s are 2 and 2 5s are 10. Now there's nothing else to cancel, so we multiply the numerators. 84 into 3. So 84 into 3. 3 4s are 12, carry 1. 3 8s are 24, plus 1 is 25. So here in the numerator we have 252. And in the denominator, we have 5 5s are 25. 252 by 25. Now let's divide 252 by 25 and see what we get. So 25. Now here we have 25. So let's write 25 ones are 25 minus 0. Bring down 2. 2 is smaller, so we put a 0. Now let's continue our division. So this is, we'll put a point and a 0. Carry that point up, bring the 0 down. Now 20 is smaller than 25. So if I have to continue my division, I put a 0 on top and I can put one more 0 and bring that 0 down. So now my number is 225 into 8. 25 into 8 is 200. So what do we have here now? Our quotient is 10.08. So the value of x here is 10.08 and that is our fourth proportional. So the fourth proportional is 10.08. So we've got our answer here, 10.08. Question 5. 4 hours 40 minutes is our first quantity. 1 hour 10 minutes is the second and 16 hours is the third one. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert all these into minutes. Okay, because we have two units here, hours and minutes. Let's make it one unit. So let's convert 4 hours and 40 minutes into only minutes. Now 4 hours, we're going to convert it into minutes. In 1 hour, we have 60 minutes. So in 4 hours, we have 60 into 4. That is 6 4s are 24. Add the 0, 240 minutes. Now, so we finished doing this. 4 hours, we've made it 240 minutes. Now what about this 40 minutes? We need to add it to this. So totally what do we have? 0, 8 to 280 minutes. So let's write it here. So this is 280 minutes. Now let's convert the next one. So now let's convert 1 hour 10 minutes. 1 hour 10 minutes into minutes. So in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So this is converted already. Now we have to add this 10 minutes to it. So this becomes 70 minutes. So let's write it there. So 1 hour 10 minutes is 70 minutes. Now let's convert 16 hours into minutes. 16 hours into minutes. So we are going to convert this into minutes. In 1 hour we know there is 60 minutes. So in 16 hours, how many minutes do we have? 60 into 16. So let's multiply that. 6 zeros are 0, 6 6s are 36. Then we have 1 zeros are 0, 1 6s are 6. So this is 0, 6, 3 plus 6 is 9. We have 960 minutes. Okay, so we have 960 minutes. So what have we done? We have converted all these into minutes. So first we have 280 minutes. then we have 70 minutes, and then we have 960 minutes. So now we have 3 terms, so let the fourth proportional be x. Now we can write all these here. So let's write 280 minutes, then we have 70 minutes, then we have 960 minutes, and then we have x. We are going to take the first 2 terms and make the first ratio. So that is going to be 280 is to 70. And the next 2, that is 960 and x, we're going to take as the next 2 quantities to form the ratio. 960 is to x. Now let's use the formula. Product of extremes equals product of means. The extremes are these 2 numbers. So that will be 280 into x is equal to product of means, and these are the means, that is 70 into 960. Now we're going to find the value of x. We'll leave only x here. On the right side, we have 70 into 960. Now from the left hand side, we're going to remove 280. We're going to transpose it to the right hand side. It's going to become division. So this is 280. Now let's see what we can cancel. So first thing we can do is we can cancel our zeros. So I can cancel this 0 and this 0. Now I can cancel 7 and 28. 7 ones are 7, 7 fours are 28. Now I have in the numerator 1 into 960, which is 960, in the denominator 4. Let's divide this. 960 divided by 4. 4 twos are 8 minus 1, bring down 6, 4 fours are 16 minus 0, take the 0 up, now we have 0 minus. So what is our quotient? Our quotient is 240, and we have found the value of x to be 240. That means our fourth proportional is 240. Now this is 240 minutes. Now we can convert this to hours and minutes. So here also let me write minutes. We can convert this to hours and minutes. Now how do we do that? Now 60 minutes make 1 hour, isn't it? So 240 minutes will make how many hours? That will be 240 divided by 60. So let's do that division there itself. We can cancel out the zeros. Now we only have 24 divided by 6. 24 divided by 6 is how much? 6 fours are 24. That means 240 minutes is equal to 4 hours. So we've got our answer. The fourth proportional is 240 minutes, or you can also write it as hours, 4 hours. So here also let's write that, 4 hours. So we will stop with this for now, children. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you, children.